Have you ever stopped to think about how much time you really have left when you reach the age of 70? At this stage of life, each year seems to have an even more special value. And whether you like it or not, your body begins to give subtle but important clues about your longevity. Many 70-year-olds still feel full of energy with a sharp mind and a vibrant spirit. Others, however, face a slowdown. Health problems start to appear, their mood is no longer the same, and tiredness becomes more present. But why is there such a marked difference between people of the same age? The answer may lie in small signs that, although discreet, carry enormous weight. They act as a mirror of your future. In this video, we'll explore 7 signs that may indicate how long you can still live after 70. And these are not suppositions or popular beliefs, they are observations based on real data, analyzed by scientists and health professionals around the world. By the end of this content, you'll know exactly what to observe in your own body and routine, and, more importantly, you'll understand what you can do to improve your chances of living longer and healthier. Stay until the end, because seemingly small details can have a profound influence on your destiny. Once you recognize these signs, you'll have more clarity about your current situation and the adjustments you can make to gain more time to live with quality. Let's start with the first sign. Sign number 1. Your walking speed. This is perhaps one of the most reliable signs of your life expectancy after 70. And the most curious thing is that it's not related to your DNA, what's in your medical tests, or even your diet. It's something simple but extremely revealing: the way you walk. Studies show that individuals with a steady stride and a constant walking pace after the age of 70 tend to live longer than those who drastically reduce their pace. This is because walking speed is directly linked to general physical condition, muscle strength, heart health, and even the mind. To illustrate, think of 2 men, Joe and Frank, both 75. Joe has a habit of walking every morning. He keeps a steady pace, crosses streets with ease, and climbs stairs without difficulty. His movements are smooth, steady, and balanced. He gets around safely, demonstrating that his body still responds well to the demands of everyday life. Frank, on the other hand, although quite active in the past, has slowed down in recent years. He now finds it difficult to keep up with other people, has to take frequent breaks during walks, and sometimes feels unsteady on his feet. Comparing the two, the way Joe moves reveals that his health remains solid, while Frank's hesitant gait may indicate that his physical condition is deteriorating. An unsteady gait is not always just a consequence of aging. It can point to deeper issues such as muscle weakness, poor circulation, or even early signs of neurological problems. Our legs are literally the foundation of our body, and when that foundation starts to fail, our general endurance tends to drop too. The good news is that walking speed is something that can be improved. The more you move, the more strength and vitality you can achieve. If you've noticed that you're walking more slowly than before, don't ignore it. Small actions such as walking a little more each day, including light weights in your daily activities or doing simple leg exercises, can already make a difference. In the end, the speed with which you move through the world can be a direct reflection of how long you're going to be active. Observing your pace can be one of the most practical and revealing ways of assessing your longevity. Sign number 2. The strength of your grip. It may seem surprising, but the strength with which you shake someone's hand can say a lot about your future health. Research shows that grip strength is one of the most accurate indicators of vitality among the elderly. A firm grip usually reveals well-preserved muscles, good blood circulation, and a properly functioning nervous system. On the other hand, a weak grip, or one that has diminished over time, can be a warning sign of muscle loss, increasing frailty, and even a greater risk of more serious health problems. Let's take the example of Robert, a 78-year-old gentleman. He has always been known for his strong, confident handshake. Even as he got older, he kept active, doing lightweight training, and never had any difficulty performing simple everyday tasks, such as opening jars or carrying supermarket bags. Walter, also 78, began to notice that simple everyday tasks, such as opening a bottle or holding a slightly heavier bag, were becoming more challenging. At first, he attributed this to natural aging, but what he did not realize was that his grip strength was weakening, a clear sign that his muscle mass was silently decreasing. This loss may seem subtle at first, but it has important consequences. Reduced strength in the hands can indicate a growing fragility in the whole body, making the person more susceptible to falls, injuries, and even a shorter life expectancy. Your hands, in this context, become a kind of mirror of the health of your muscles in general. If the strength of your grip is decreasing, it's likely that other areas of the body are undergoing the same process. And the more this strength disappears, the more difficult it becomes to maintain independence, mobility, and the ability to face daily challenges safely and willingly. The good news is that this can be reversed. Simple exercises can help a lot. Squeezing a tennis ball, using those gripper devices to strengthen your hands, or even carrying small weights at home can make a difference. Take a moment to test your grip. If your hands shake, if they seem weaker than they were before, or if you're having more difficulty with simple tasks, don't ignore these signs. The way you hold things today can tell you a lot about how you're going to get on in life in the years to come. By the way, if you're watching and have found this information useful so far, leave the number 2 in the comments so I know you got to this part of the video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Activate the bell so you don't miss out on any future content. Now, on to sign number 3, your ability to balance on one leg. Standing on one leg sounds simple, and indeed it is, until the moment you realize you can no longer do it with ease. Studies show that the ability to balance on one leg for at least 10 seconds may be one of the most accurate indicators of longevity. Researchers have found that people with balance difficulties have a higher risk of falls, fractures, and even cognitive decline. On the other hand, those who manage to keep this skill well preserved at the age of 70 or more generally live longer and healthier lives. Take, for example, 2 women, Carol and Nancy, both just over 70. Carol has always been active. She walks every day, practices yoga frequently, and can lift one leg off the ground and hold it steady for several seconds without faltering. Nancy, on the other hand, has never paid much attention to the importance of balance over the years. Now, when she tries to stand on one leg, she can barely remain stable for a few seconds. Almost immediately, she has to lean on something to keep from falling. What she hasn't yet realized is that this difficulty isn't just a passing setback. It's a warning sign. Losing your balance can indicate that your leg muscles are weakening, that your coordination is no longer the same, and, in some cases, even that your brain is starting to slow down. Balance depends on physical strength, agile reflexes, and a well-functioning neurological system. If you've noticed that you're stumbling more, that you feel insecure when making quick movements, or that you need to lean on furniture or walls to walk safely, don't ignore these signs. The good news is that you can train your balance and regain it with simple activities. Exercises such as standing on one leg for a few seconds every day, walking from heel to toe, or practicing slow Tai Chi movements can improve your stability. You can even test it right now. Stand up straight, lift one leg, and see if you can keep your balance for 10 seconds. If you can't, don't be alarmed, but use this as an incentive to start taking care of it now. The sooner you start, the more stable and confident you'll be over the years. Now for the 4th warning sign, your sleep patterns. The way you sleep says a lot about your health and even how long you'll live. Sleep isn't just a time to rest. It's when the body repairs itself, the immune system strengthens, and the brain eliminates accumulated toxins. Research shows that people over the age of 70 who get good quality sleep live longer and with more energy. On the other hand, those who have trouble sleeping or suffer from restless nights have a higher risk of developing memory problems, heart disease, and a weakened immune system. Take the case of 2 men, Henry and Bill, both in their 70s. Henry has a regular sleep schedule, sleeps around 7 hours a night, and wakes up feeling refreshed. Bill, on the other hand, spends his nights tossing and turning in bed, waking up several times and sometimes not even being able to fall asleep completely. The result? While Henry's body continues to function well and his mind remains sharp, Bill begins to experience constant tiredness, difficulty concentrating, and even fluctuations in blood pressure, all of which can be linked to poor sleep quality. If you wake up several times during the night, take longer to fall asleep, or feel exhausted even after hours in bed, pay attention. Your body is trying to warn you that something isn't right. Sleep problems can be linked to stress, poor diet, a sedentary lifestyle, or even undiagnosed health conditions. Another very common problem linked to sleep, especially in older people, is sleep apnea, which often goes unnoticed. But the good news is that sleep quality can be improved with simple changes in everyday life. Things like reducing screen time before bed, maintaining a regular sleep routine, getting natural light first thing in the morning, or avoiding heavy evening meals can make a huge difference. Sleep is not just for resting. It's essential for keeping your body and mind functioning at peak level. So tonight, pay attention. Are you waking up tired? Do you find it difficult to sleep deeply? Have you noticed changes in your sleep in recent years? Then maybe it's time to adjust some habits, because the way you sleep today can define how strong and healthy you will be in the years to come. And if you're still watching this video and are finding these insights valuable, comment on number 4 below so I know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, take the opportunity to click on the subscribe button and activate the little bell. This helps us to continue bringing you content that informs, inspires, and transforms. Now on to sign number 5, your appetite and your eating habits. The way you eat after the age of 70 is one of the strongest indicators of how long you can live and with what quality. Having a healthy appetite and maintaining a balanced diet helps keep your muscles strong, your immune system resilient, and your energy up. On the other hand, a sudden loss of appetite or poor eating habits can be warning signs. They can indicate that something is wrong with your body and, worse, contribute to premature aging. Imagine 2 women, Margaret and Susan, both aged 74. Margaret loves her meals. She prepares her own food, eats fresh and varied food, keeps her weight stable, and feels in a good mood all day long. Susan, on the other hand, has noticed that she no longer feels as hungry. She often skips meals, eats processed foods, and, without realizing it, has lost weight over the last year. Susan doesn't realize that this lack of appetite isn't just a passing change. It could be a sign that her body isn't absorbing nutrients properly, which can weaken her muscles, slow down her metabolism, and even compromise her immune system. What's more, in older adults, loss of appetite is often linked to hidden health problems, such as digestive disorders, hormonal changes, or even the first signs of cognitive decline. So pay attention to your hunger. Are you eating well? Do you feel energized after meals, or have you been feeling weaker? Have you noticed weight loss for no apparent reason? These are signs you shouldn't ignore. And when you're not eating enough, your body starts looking for energy elsewhere, from your muscles. This leads to weakness, frailty, and a much higher risk of falls and illness. If you've noticed changes in your appetite, such as feeling full too quickly, losing interest in food, or even losing weight without explanation, it's time to pay attention. Eating well after 70 isn't just about satisfying hunger. It's about nourishing your body, giving it everything it needs to keep functioning at its best. Whole foods, rich in nutrients, keep you strong, hydrated, and full of energy. And remember, a waning appetite can be your body's silent way of telling you that something is not right. So stop and ask yourself, do you still get pleasure from eating? Are you consuming protein, fiber, and healthy fats? Have you noticed a drop in energy and interest in food? The way you eat today has a direct impact on how you will live tomorrow. A balanced diet is one of the keys to maintaining independence, strength, and health for years to come. Now for sign number 6, how you deal with stress. After 70, the way you react to stress can say a lot about your longevity. That's because chronic stress doesn't just mess with your mood. It weakens the immune system, increases the risk of heart disease, and even accelerates aging. But there's a big contrast between people who know how to deal with stress and those who let it consume them. Take the example of John and Richard, both 76. John experiences difficulties like anyone else: unexpected expenses, health problems, family worries. But he's learned to deal with it all calmly. He practices deep breathing, keeps socially active, and doesn't get hung up on problems any more than necessary. Richard, on the other hand, lives in a constant state of alert. He worries about everything, even what is out of his control. He gets angry easily, gets frustrated over small things, and often gets lost in negative thought patterns. Over time, this kind of constant stress takes its toll. It affects sleep, raises blood pressure, and causes energy to plummet. What's worse, chronic stress activates inflammation processes in the body, something that is directly linked to the main diseases of aging. The good news: you can train your mind, yes. Simple techniques such as meditation, social activities, outdoor walks, and even enjoyable hobbies help to reduce stress levels and improve quality of life. Alzheimer's disease and heart problems may be more closely linked to stress than you realize. If you've been feeling constantly tense, irritable, or emotionally drained, it's time to pay attention. Ignoring these signs can be costly. Finding ways to deal with stress, such as mindfulness practices, deep breathing exercises, or even the simple habit of laughing, can actually increase your life expectancy. When challenges arise, are you able to adapt and move on? Or do you get caught up in your worries and let stress take over? Your ability to stay calm, focus on solutions, and take control of what's at hand not only helps your mental health, but also directly influences your longevity and quality of life. If you're still watching this content and have found it useful so far, leave the number 6 in the comments. That way, I know you're following along. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, take the opportunity to subscribe and activate the little bell. This motivates us to continue bringing you informative and inspiring content. Let's move on. Now, let's move on to the 7th sign: your social connections. The strength of your relationships can be one of the greatest indicators of how long you can live. Numerous studies, more than 70 to date, show that people with strong social ties, whether with friends, family, or through participation in community activities, tend to live longer and healthier lives. Loneliness, on the other hand, is associated with increased risks of heart disease, depression, cognitive impairment, and even early death. Think of 2 examples: Eleanor and Barbara, both 78 years old. Eleanor maintains an active social routine, chats to old friends, takes part in a book club, and loves spending time with her family. She feels connected, laughs often, and enjoys everyday interactions. Barbara, on the other hand, is more isolated. Over the years, she has lost touch with her friends, and even though she has family, she hardly speaks to them. As time goes by, she feels more and more alone. Her mood changes, and her health begins to deteriorate. Social connection is not just emotional. It directly influences the health of the body. Interactions keep the brain active, reduce stress levels, and cause the body to release substances that are beneficial to general well-being. If you've been withdrawing from activities, avoiding calls, or spending too much time alone, it's worth paying attention to this. It's time to make changes. Being connected to others doesn't mean you have to be surrounded by people all the time. Small things, like reconnecting with an old friend, joining a group with similar interests, or simply making a habit of having meaningful conversations, can make a huge difference. The bonds you cultivate today don't just bring joy to your daily life. They also have a direct impact on your health and longevity. That's why it's worth taking care of these connections. Now that you know these 7 important signs, take a moment to think. How is your life going at the moment? Are you moving forward steadily and confidently? Or have you noticed small changes that could be warning signs? The good news is that most of these aspects, such as your walking speed, hand strength balance, sleep quality, eating habits, stress levels, and social relationships are factors that can be improved with simple, everyday actions. Your future is not written in stone. The choices you make today can transform the years to come. If you realize that there are areas of your life that need attention, don't wait for a doctor to tell you it's time to change. Start now. Walk more, strengthen your muscles, value sleep, keep in touch with other people, and find ways to deal better with stress. The goal is not just to live longer, but to live with more quality. Because at the end of the day, what really matters is not just how many years we have left, but how we live those years. Thank you for being with us so far. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment telling us something you learned today and how you intend to apply it to your life. Your thoughts are very important to us. Every comment brings motivation and inspires us to keep going. If this video was useful to you, like it, share it with those who can benefit from it, and of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future content. Your support is essential so that we can continue to bring you relevant and inspiring information. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.